Good day. I want to talk about Canada. I also want to talk about where we are going and what I think we should do, right? Canada, quite similar to Sweden. We both have crazy governments, I think. Yeah. You see the Swedish government, which is mainly the socialists. You can see it almost weekly now, how they are slipping. And I have bad news for Mr. Trudeau and his liberals in Canada. This is a survey showing very disturbing curves. Yes. So first, people who think that the Canadian government is doing a very good or somewhat good job. In 2015 it was 60%. That's almost an extreme number. Right? Then it went down to 43%. And now last year 37. So very steep curve going down, very disturbing. And then the opposite, people who think they are doing a bad job. In 2015 it was 23%. This is ridiculously low. Right? These guys must have been very, very popular back in 2015. So then it went up to 33 and then last year 39, right? So steep curve going up. Yes. I also have a quote from Mr. Trudeau because, you know, you want to understand this guy, don't you? So this is what he's talking about, an organization that wants to regulate abortions. Yeah. So he's saying this. An organization that has the explicit purpose of restricting women's rights by removing rights to abortion and the right for women to control their own bodies is not in line with where we are as a government. And then he says this, and quite frankly, where we are as a society. And I can just picture our own as PM here in Sweden saying something as arrogant as this, because this is I don't know, what he's basically saying is that those who disagree with the government is not really part of society. That's my interpretation. Extremely arrogant, you know. So I totally understand why more and more Canadians want him out. Yeah, and I hope he goes out and he stays out. Yeah. Okay, so now where we are going really? How are we doing? You know, that's the question. And I do have a question for you. What nation in the West, do the left do well? That's the question. Yeah, and the answer, I think, shows how we are doing. You know, we're up against some crazy shit. Yes, bad shit. You know, a lot of money, of course. Globalists with lots of money, corrupt politicians, and bought media. Right? And they hate it when we communicate. So that's what we do, and that's what we should do more of, you know. And they hate us being supportive of each other. They just hate it. I know it. I mean, they are trying to cut freedom of speech on the internet. That's how desperate they are. So the key here is to keep communicating. And communicate more and support each other. You see, that's the key, because that's what they hate and that's what's hurting them, right? And many of us are impatient. We think it's going too slow, right? And it is going slow, but you know, remember what we're up against. A lot of bad shit, right? So I think we're doing well. That's what I think. Okay, that's all. Bye.